What does the moon in Sagittarius mean for you in your astrological chart? Sagittarius is naturally the 9th zodiac sign. When the moon is in Sagittarius, it highlights transportation, travel, opportunities, luck, higher education, learning. It also points to the guru. It points to the teacher. We become more emotional about teaching and learning, travel and exploring. Jupiter is the planet that rules Sagittarius. So this becomes significant. Jupiter is currently situated in Taurus, the zodiac sign dealing with finances and possessions. And Venus is the planet that rules Taurus, having to do with values and our bread. And so right off the bat, Sagittarius, Taurus, and Leo become significant in the chain of dispositorship while the moon is in Sagittarius alone. First, for Aries rising, we have the moon in the 9th house, points to one's education, philosophy, their higher learning, as well as travel and transportation and long journey. Now, because Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, we're going to look to see where Jupiter is located. Jupiter is located in Aries rising's 2nd house, where Taurus is located, the house of finances and possessions. So being that Sagittarius and Jupiter have to do with abundance, Jupiter in Taurus makes abundant practical matters as well as one's financial position. While the moon is in Sagittarius, Aries risings may learn how to acquire and make more money. If we want to go further, we look to see where Venus is located. Venus is located in the 5th house for Aries rising. So we have Sagittarius, the 9th house. We have Taurus in the 2nd house dealing with the finances. And we have the 5th house dealing with love. If we put Taurus on the ascendant, which is ruled by Venus, while the moon is in Sagittarius, it's Taurus's 8th house. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So with the moon located in Sagittarius, it activates and highlights the 8th house, which is shared resources when it comes to Tauruses. Now these shared resources of partner, because it posits Jupiter in the 1st house, it looks like shared resources or the partner's finances get inherited to the Taurus rising. And we have Venus located over here in the 4th house. So when it comes to Taurus rising, it has to do with intimacy, bonds, shared resources of the partner, and those resources being shared to improve their personal self. And for Taurus to then pour that money back into the household or within the living conditions. For Gemini risings, it places the moon in Sagittarius in the 7th house, which is the house of partnership. This adventure, Sagittarius, that comes from the partner, which is highlighted by the moon being in Sagittarius, then pours into Taurus in the 12th house. Just like I said, the 9th house is the 3rd house of the 7th house. We can look at the 12th house as the 6th house of the 7th house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which happens to be the work. So the partner may have to engage in some type of work, which would be a secret sorrow to Gemini because of the duties and the responsibilities of the partner. With Venus and Leo in Gemini's 3rd house, then this infects and impacts the mind. This may have Gemini risings being more interested in finding entertainment through social media and or conversations with close relatives and or neighbors, and more times with the close family. That's Gemini rising. If we place Cancer on the ascendant, we find Sagittarius in the 6th. And we find that Cancer risings when the moon is in Sagittarius has to do with their health and their hygiene. Because Taurus is in the 11th house of Cancer rising, it places this health issue, right, or this interest and focus on the health and or routine, then pours into friendship. And so Cancer risings may duck some of their work responsibilities due to dispositorship chain of Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius, being posited in the 11th house. Cancer risings may find more enjoyment with the friends as opposed to taking care of responsibilities that are needed to be taken care of. And so we have Leo in the 2nd house, which is where Venus is retrograde in the 2nd house. So Venus is comfortable here sitting in the 2nd house. We can see that Cancer rising's responsibilities, friendship, and finances are 3 features while the moon transits Sagittarius. For Leo rising, Sagittarius is the 5th house, and with the moon in the 5th house, it points to Leo risings, their love life and their enjoyment and creativity and education as well. Their love for education is what it is that they feel. There's a magnetic energy and a pull toward love of education, love and education. Taurus is Leo's 10th house, which actually uplifts Leo's year. Jupiter in Leo's 10th house uplifts their career and their reputation. And while the moon transits Sagittarius, there's an action and directed. Leo risings are directed to fulfill this emotion that they have to entertain or love their education or pursue education deep from their heart, and then to pour that into their career. This could also be a creative ability to educate. Leo risings find an ability, a way in which to educate that comes from their heart, or creatively they stumble upon creatively, artistically through their searching and seeking knowledge, right? They use their knowledge. While the moon is in Sagittarius, knowledge is used in information and growth, which pours into the career right there, which improves the self there. So we see that the 5th house, the 10th house, and the 1st house are activated. For Virgos, the moon is in Sagittarius in your 4th house, which points to the home, points to the family. Education in the home, education with the family, travel from the mother or travel to the hometown or call back to the mom or family members, which it then pours into some type of education or higher learning, or circumstances with the family cause Virgo risings to have a conversation and communicate with the partner. Virgo risings, there's a need to communicate and share and expand on the emotions and how they feel. And Leo is here in the 12th house where Venus is retrograde. So we can see that for Virgo risings, the moon in Sagittarius activates the 4th house, the living conditions. It activates the 9th house right after the 4th house. So home and family and some learning, some new information that comes from the family. There's some secrets that are found out through the family. And or the partner actually discovers, and there's some understanding about some hidden issues in the family. With Libra on the ascendant, the moon in Sagittarius is in the 3rd house, which is the house of communication. Libra risings have a message to share because 3rd house has to do with Gemini. This places Jupiter in the 8th house for Libra risings. So the communication that Libra has a message to share to the partner in regards to their finances and their shared resources and the goals that they have. The 3rd house is communication, the 8th house is the partner's money, and 11th house are the goals. So Libra risings are educating, they're valuing, they're resourcing, looking at their partner as a resource, as the partner becomes to be a resource so that they can fulfill their goals and their hopes and wishes to be entertained and go back to friends. For Scorpio risings, the moon is in Sagittarius in the 2nd house. So it points to the finances and the financial well-being. It also points to the pocket and what it is that they value. It points to Scorpio rising's values. There could be some values in partnership or a discovery and a learning Sagittarius that acts as an investment that is received from the partner and in relationship.